بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. My name is Omar Shtila. I'm the Executive Director of Straight Path Academy. I was an Islamic school principal for more than 10 years and I'm a strong advocate for Islamic education. I wanted to put this video together to encourage our Muslim community and to give parents an idea of how they can pay for tuition to send their kids to an Islamic school. Islamic schools are private schools or independent schools, so they're self-funded. They're not funded by the government for the most part. Very minimal funding from the government. Most funding comes from tuition that parents pay the school, and that is how Islamic schools cover their costs to operate a school program. This video is important because in my experience, the cost of tuition is one of the main reasons why a lot of parents who do want to send their kids to an Islamic school aren't able to, because they can't afford the tuition. And most parents don't know how they can overcome this obstacle. So the first option when it comes to paying for the tuition for an Islamic school is self-pay, paying out of pocket for the tuition. Now, it's important to keep in mind that sending your kids to an Islamic school is an investment. It's an investment in their dunya and their akhirah, as well as in your dunya and akhirah. If you have to make some sacrifices to be able to afford sending your kids to an Islamic school, then so be it. Make sure that you strive and try your best to allocate the funds needed to be able to pay tuition to send your kids to an Islamic school. See if you can carve out the cost from other places in your budget. Can you spend less on eating out? Can you drive your old car for a couple more years instead of buying a new one? Can you skip a certain trip or a vacation and invest in sending your kids to an Islamic school? Make sure that if you're able to pay the full tuition to send your kids to an Islamic school, do so. This ensures that the school has enough funding to cover its costs and expenses, and keep in mind that all the funds go back into the school itself. Consider it a sadaqah in your account of good deeds and as a way of spending in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another way of paying for the tuition to send your kids to an Islamic school is through your employer. See whether your employer offers tuition for children or dependent as a benefit. Some employers offer that as a benefit to their employees and cover part of the tuition or all the tuition for their children or dependents. The next option for paying for the tuition for sending your kids to an Islamic school is getting discounts from the school itself. Now, if you can't afford to pay the full tuition, ask your local school, as most of them offer certain discounts or financial assistance. There's sibling discounts that a lot of Islamic schools offer. If you're enrolling more than one child, then you get a discount for the second and third and so on and so forth child that you enroll. A lot of Islamic schools offer staff discounts. In some cases, it's about 50%. In some cases, it's more or less. It depends on the Islamic school. So ask your local school. And if they do offer staff discounts, then getting a job at the school if you're qualified, and even if it's working part-time or in a support role, or even ask if there's opportunities for you to volunteer and get assistance with the tuition and see if you can work something out. Most Islamic schools also offer financial assistance based on income for families that are not able to afford to pay the full tuition. And some Islamic schools also offer merit-based scholarships for students that are doing well academically and would qualify for such scholarships. Most schools would be able to work out a payment plan with you if you're not able to afford the tuition all in one go or in the monthly installments. You might be able to come to an agreement with them and say, okay, I can pay this much on that day and this much on that day, and work something out with them. As an Islamic school principal, I always found a way to work with the parents. Alhamdulillah, we never drove any parent away because they couldn't afford to pay the tuition. And so as a parent, if you're determined to enroll your child in an Islamic school, go talk to the school in your area, visit the office, talk to the principal, and see what could be done to help you send your kid to that school. Another option when it comes to sending your kid to Islamic school, if you're not able to afford it, is contact your local masjid and see if they have a zakat fund or a sadaqah fund specifically for education or to support paying for tuition, or if they can help you find sponsors or individuals from within the community who can sponsor the tuition for your child. Another option when it comes to funding the tuition to send your kids to an Islamic school is state-funded scholarships, tax credits, ESAs, or vouchers. There's a lot of different programs out there. We're not going to go into the details of them now, but some states offer programs that give parents a certain level of funding that covers part or all of the tuition to send their kids to a private school of their choice. Now, there are different programs offered. There's multiple programs in some states, but there are over 30 states that have at least one private school choice program that they offer. So make sure you do some research and look into the programs offered within your own state and see what you would qualify for. Keep in mind, some are universal programs and they offer these scholarships to cover tuition for all students within that state, and some have certain requirement or income-based criteria or other qualifications to be able to apply for that scholarship or funding. So as I said, do your own research and look into see what programs your own state offers, or if you need help, feel free to reach out to us as well, inshallah. A good place to start is edchoice.org. It has more information based on each state and what programs and scholarships and ESAs or vouchers that they offer and the difference between them, if you want to see what programs are offered in your state and better be able to understand these different programs and what you qualify for. Another option for funding the tuition to send your kids to a private Islamic school is nonprofit organizations and other organizations that offer grants or scholarships. Some are national, some are regional or state-based organizations, and they offer different scholarships that have different amounts per year or different criteria. Some are merit-based scholarships and others are income-based. You'll have to do some research and see what's available to you and what you qualify for. This concludes our video of the different options that parents have to secure funding to send their kids to an Islamic school and cover the tuition. And I hope this gives you an overview and helps facilitate sending your children to an Islamic school if tuition is an obstacle. If I forgot to mention any opportunities, feel free to add them in the comments so others may benefit, inshallah. If there are other aspects of Islamic schools that you would like for us to cover, or if you have any questions, feel free to submit them to us at Straight Path Academy or post them here in the comments below and we'll be glad to answer them, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum, jazakumullah khairan, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.